Hey, what's up everyone? MonadoMax here. And it's been a little bit since this news has come out, but I've been waiting to see if Nintendo was going to make a response to this, considering how controversial this is. Nintendo's been in a lot of controversy before in the past, but I feel like this topic has definitely been one of their biggest controversies. And it does surprise me that Nintendo has yet to really respond to it, but at the same time, they probably don't care. I just find it very interesting because I honestly thought it was going to happen this time. But today we're going to be talking about my thoughts on Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack, what I think could be happening with it in the future in terms of the response from Nintendo, what's going to happen with it. So let's get right into the video. So it was announced that the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack was going to be $50 a year, and I think it was $85 a year if you go with the Family Pack. And I was actually really surprised by that because I was saying around to people that I felt it was going to be $30 to $40 a year. But no, I was really wrong. I think all of us was wrong. I don't think there was many people that said $50. So to see Nintendo go this high of a price range, it being more than double than the regular, that did surprise me. Now I think Nintendo realizes that they put it at a very high price because they're giving the brand new Animal Crossing DLC with it. But a lot of people don't realize that you don't own the DLC. If you have the service, you don't own it. If that service goes away, if it expires, you can't use that Animal Crossing DLC anymore, and I feel that is extremely screwed up. They definitely should have gave some sort of discount or something if you had the service to actually own the DLC, or just in general own the DLC with the service. I don't know why Nintendo went with that approach, and I hope they definitely do something over there. There's a few things though on why this is probably the price point. They went with Sega Genesis for, I don't really know why they did this. To be honest with you, I think one of Nintendo's mistakes was getting Sega on board with this, because Sega was not a big fan of Virtual Console before in the past, and I don't want to imagine how much money Nintendo had to pay for the licenses to get a lot of these Sega Genesis games, because there's a lot of quality titles that they're getting, but I guarantee you Sega is very difficult to work with on this, considering their past with Virtual Console. If you guys didn't know, Sega is not a big fan of Virtual Console and kind of was against the idea of it. Not to mention, we're seeing Microsoft on board with the Nintendo 64 part of the expansion pass. We're getting Banjo-Kazooie, and now it's being reported that Perfect Dark is going to be in there eventually. So that probably means we got Conker's Bad Fur Day and loads of other rareware titles coming to there. And the license for that, I don't know how that stuff works, but it's probably pretty expensive. So all these costs are adding up to the value of how much Nintendo is paying for. So I think that was one of their moves of why they put it at $50 a year. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think there was a few things they should have done differently. I think Nintendo should have just completely cut out Sega from this. I'm sure there's some people that was really happy about that, but I feel like everyone's main happiness was the fact that we're getting N64 and having that N64 online capability. If I was Nintendo, I would have gotten rid of Sega Genesis. That way that lowers the cost of licensing, because we already talked about it before. They probably spent way too much money with Sega. Another option I would have had was actually just completely cut out the Animal Crossing DLC as an option. If I was Nintendo, I would have had two different forms of how you could buy the expansion pack. Maybe do $35 a year to get Sega Genesis N64, and if you want Animal Crossing, we'll throw you a little discount, save $10 and go $50 a year to get the Animal Crossing DLC. It also makes me wonder if Nintendo is going to give like a free major DLC expansion pack every year, because not everyone's gonna be excited having that Animal Crossing DLC every year. You gotta add something new to that service every year in terms of DLC. At least that's what I hope they're doing. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, I am going to pay for the service. I'm actually excited for the service, mainly for the N64. I missed out on 95% of the N64 games out there, so I am excited to play these games. I see why everyone is mad. I understand it. I'm not disagreeing with it. I see why people are mad about this. I think it's okay to be mad. I think it's right to be mad. I just hope that the people that are boycotting actually stick to boycotting. One of the things with Nintendo is they get away with everything they do. Even when it's controversial, Nintendo always gets away with it. And you know why they always get away with it? It's because they're fans. Their fans will riot, they'll riot the streets, they'll start this whole campaign of like, screw Nintendo, screw this remaster, screw $60, all of that. But then they still end up buying the game. I went over this in my Skyward Sword HD review, that everyone was talking crap about this game, saying how they weren't gonna buy it, but still bought it anyways. Anytime Nintendo's in controversy, all the time Nintendo fans buy the crap up. Now you guys have the opportunity once again to vote with your wallet. If you're one of the people complaining, saying it shouldn't be $50, then you shouldn't buy the service. I'm talking to you. I know you, one of you watching this, is probably already complaining, but still fully intend on buying it. Nintendo is the only company that gets away with this. When Microsoft did the whole Xbox Gold being $120 a year, everyone rioted the streets on that. Everyone got on Xbox for that. And you know how Xbox handled it? They were like, okay, we see you guys. We're gonna listen. We're lowering it to the same price that we were paying before. When PlayStation did that whole thing with Horizon Zero Dawn, the sequel, where originally you were going to get a PS5 update, and then they announced you actually have to pay $20 to get the PS5 version upgrade. When it was announced that they were doing that, people were rioting. They were like, I'm not doing that. All that nonsense. And so PlayStation was like, okay, you guys win. You guys showed us. You guys will see this happen with a lot of third-party companies too. One thing that I bring up a lot is with Atlas on the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne HD port. A lot of people was not happy with that $50 price tag. So you know what happened? People didn't buy the game. When it went on sale, people were buying the game. These issues are going to continue happening if you guys don't stop. And I'm not blaming everyone. I'm blaming the consumer that's complaining but still buys it anyways. I'm not complaining to the person that is staying by their word. A lot of people got that mixed up with me on Twitter, saying that I was calling out everyone. I'm only calling out the people that are boycotting Nintendo but still end up buying this. Because none of this is going to end if we do not if we actually stick by our words. Now, I'm not boycotting this service because I am happy with what I'm getting. But you people need to actually boycott. You guys need to stop. Because, I'm talking to the people that are boycotting this service. I'm not talking to the people that are sticking by their word. I'm talking to the people that are boycotting but still buying it anyways. Because I've just explained to you before how every company doesn't get away with it because the fans over there actually do something, but when it comes to Nintendo, I don't know what's wrong with the Nintendo community, but they still end up buying the games and the numbers, sales go crazy. It's insane. And if you want other examples, let's look at games like Returnal for PlayStation 5. A lot of people wasn't happy about the $70 price tag, so people didn't buy it. You can see that game sometimes go on sale for $30. A game that just came out on PlayStation 5. My whole point is, like, everyone complains about Nintendo price tags on their remasters like Skyward Sword, but Skyward Sword HD sold like crazy. At the end of the day, we need to have Nintendo fans that are boycotting continue the boycotting and not buy into this, because Nintendo's just gonna continue doing it. I know that was an extremely long rant right there, but it is frustrating because I see this happen all the time, and I see Nintendo getting away with it. Because the fans of Nintendo, most of them at least, I'm not talking about all of them, the ones that boycott at least and still buy the products anyways, they're stupid. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's so frustrating. But, I mean, there's clearly more happening with this service. We know Game Boy is going to happen on this service, because this whole service that got leaked before originated with Game Boy and Game Boy Color, and then later it was said that it was going to be N64, so we know Game Boy and Game Boy Color is going to be added. Granted, I'm not saying, wow, that makes it the $50 worth it. I'm just saying we are going to get more systems added into this expansion pack. And we're obviously going to get more games from N64 and Sega Genesis. I get the frustration. I support with what you guys are doing. While I don't agree with it completely, because like I said, I really am excited for that N64 stuff. I am going to pick it up for the N64. Not to mention, I'm kind of used to a high price tag like that when it comes to online service, just because PlayStation Plus, which again, I know it's different, PlayStation Plus has value, at least most of the time every month. If you guys were a PlayStation Plus person back in 2015 to 2017, it was rough. It was rough those days with those free games, and they're getting better. They're way better now with those free games, and now sometimes they dip, but PlayStation Plus is a good service. I'm just saying that I'm used to that type of prices already because, yeah, I think Nintendo fans are understandably complaining, and at the end of the day, we need to make sure that those fans stick by with their word, because again, I don't know. One of the things I think Nintendo should also do is with servers that Monster Hunter Rise and Mario Party, Super Mario Party run on, I think they need to update all their games to run on those servers. Monster Hunter Rise and Mario Party have different servers than everyone else's Nintendo Switch games. I have never had any issues with Monster Hunter Rise or Super Mario Party when it comes to online games because of these new servers that Nintendo made. If Nintendo would convert all those games to those servers, I feel like a lot of the complaints of Nintendo's online service in terms of the online part would not be as bad as it is, because those servers run smooth. And if you guys own the game, let me know, because I would like to know, have you seen any issues with Monster Hunter Rise and Mario Party? Because all the times that I played those two games online, I have never had a single issue. I might just be jinxing myself now, because there'll probably be that one person in the comments like, yeah, I had a lot of issues with that. Don't put the new servers into the other games, guys. Just stick with the old servers, Nintendo. Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack isn't great, but I do think in a few years, a lot of people are going to be changing their minds about this. I think the controversy, again, I'm not saying I disagree with it. I get it. I understand it, because I know most of these people that are complaining have already played the N64 and Sega Genesis, all that type of stuff. I haven't, so that's why I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to have Banjo on the Switch, because I really want to play Banjo. So before we end off this video, I want to say I understand the controversy. I legit get it. I'm not saying that this whole video was, I disagree with it. This video was mainly giving my whole thoughts on the service and kind of a rant towards the Nintendo community when it comes to boycotting, at least. Because, again, they suck at it. Nintendo's the only company that gets away with controversy. So at the end of the day, I am excited for the expansion pack. I really am. I'm excited to have the N64 capability. But I do understand the controversy. I get it, and I'm not, again, I know I keep saying it, but I want to emphasize that I am not disagreeing with you guys on it, because I get it. Well, guys, I've been talking for way too much. I feel like this is going to be a controversial video, at least in the comments. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's make a whole conversation out of this, because I know there's going to be a lot of conversation in the comments below. If you see an interesting comment in there, reply to add your take. Let's have this whole debate in the comments, because I think it's going to be really interesting in the comments. Well, guys, make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. / that subscribe button. Check out all my socials in the description below. Check out the Tiecast, Four Swords, all that. All that's in the description below. Again, I do really want to know your intake on all of this, because it's an interesting conversation. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.